Hello, it's Tune In Tuesday, and my guest today is my beloved dog Googly Eyes, also known as Googs or Googie. And if any of you have had a reading at my house, you know her. She has a job. She usually goes and hangs out under the chair over there, but with this bucket on her head, she can't fit under there. She's under my desk. And she's our teacher today because she's had to give up some of her freedom in order to heal. She has a little sore on her foot and she's been licking it a lot, and therefore it hasn't been healing. And so yesterday, the cone of shame, she's not happy with me. She's really not very happy about having to tolerate this lack of freedom and disruption to her natural instinct that wants to do something about what's going on her foot. But it's for her good, even though it's hard for me and her to limit her freedom. And we're all in this collective global time of questioning around our global health crisis, what we will choose to do to allow us extra time for healing to happen, or to prevent illness from spreading. And it's not fun. Giving up those freedoms is not fun. But sometimes it's important to think beyond ourselves, and or to think on behalf of ourselves and say, oh, I'm going to do this even though it sucks. So regardless of what your belief is around that, I felt like it was a really ripe time to talk about freedom and energy and the way we have to at times give up our freedoms to have other options in life. For example, if you're in a relationship, you might give up your freedom to flirt or date or have intimacy with someone else in order to go deeper with your intimacy with your partner. So that's just a little bit of an example, as Googs is an example about things that we do in order to make room for something else that may not be that fun in the moment. You're like, darn it, that guy's cute. Or, darn it, I really want to lick my paw. Or, dang it, it's my birthday, which it's mine next week, and the world is falling apart, so I have limited options on how to celebrate it. If you have any ideas for me, please add them to the comments. It's a big one, so I think at least part of the celebration will be floating down a river here in Oregon. So as you tune in this Tuesday, I want you to just recognize how much freedom you truly do have. And in that, also recognize where your freedoms are being encroached upon. You know, I live in Oregon. It's in the national news because of the way the freedoms are being encroached upon in Portland. And we have to think about that. When is it worth it and when isn't it? And there's a lot of people getting out in the streets saying it's not worth it to give up our freedoms in this state. We don't trust what's happening in the world, so we need to make a stand for it. So energetically, feel into yourself and really listen to your truth about it. I'm not inviting you to listen to my truth about it or the truth you hear on the news, whatever channel you like to listen to, or any of those leaders of any sort in the world, but listen to your inner truth. And what I do to do that is I get myself grounded. I notice that I have a grounding cord. I set my aura bubble to make sure that it's my space and nobody else's space. I clear out the center of my head, like I imagine it getting blown out by a fan or hosed out of anybody else's information, till it gets really clear. And then I invite my guidance to come down into my crown, through the top of my head, into my conscious third eye, to my psychic space, to inform me. So when it's your turn to ask about freedom for yourself, for the world, for what we're going through, what your choice of action is, tune into yourself that way. Listen, set your space, and invite the information in. And notice if, like Googs, you might have to temporarily adjust your level of freedom for the broader scale of healing in the world. Or yourself.